Welcome back to the Intel Extreme Masters from Oakland. We have a semi-final on the way, and Alex Machine Richardson said it perfectly. We're going to take an adventure into this semi-final because it's happened before, not long ago, on this side of the planet as well. In New York, these next two teams met. It was not pretty, but this matchup, FaZe against Cloud9, is in Cloud9's backyard. They are favorites here. It is the second semi-final to see who takes on the Ninjas in Pajamas in our grand final tomorrow to see who takes home that trophy. The teams are waiting the backstage. They will hear what's about to happen. So let's bring them out. The first team, they have looked so good recently. They have a lineup now which is just popping. Please welcome to this, the Oracle Arena, FaZe! So to my left, FaZe, ESL1 New York champions. That lineup would strike fear into anyone. But Moses said it right. He said that if Cloud9 are going to win it here, and I look around this auditorium and I see a lot of Cloud9 shirts, I look up there and see a man with Stewie on his front. They're going to need the crowd's help. So let's just have a little bit of silence. Let's have total silence in here. I'm going to announce the next team to come out, and then Oakland, the Oracle, it's over to you. Silence. Please welcome Cloud9. All right, then, a semi-final's about to happen. Let's just hear it from you. Who's winning this? Is it FaZe? So is it Cloud9? Let's get it on! It's semi-final time! Ooh!
It's finally here, the second semi-final. Cloud9 trying to get revenge against FaZe Clan from New York. That's fun. That's a nice little spurt. A good introduction to this. It's going to be on Train. Cloud9 has never beat FaZe in a match at an event.
And I mean, this would be the first time to do it. When you look at it, they've looked fantastic on Train thus far. That said, as you correctly pointed out, they still have yet to beat FaZe here. And I mean, you know, in the Oracle Arena, to secure a spot in a final, now is the time that you would want them to culminate everything together and finally win out a series versus FaZe.
Yes, this should be a very fun match to watch, just because the amount of skill on FaZe, obviously we know that, but as well, Cloud9 is no slouch. And now that they've had some time and they've built up with these in-game leaders, they've sneakily got a very strong roster, even internationally. I mean, you have Stewie, an incredible player. Tarek has been incredible in his own right, and then you have guys who are like the more passive, the quieter players, I guess, a Russian automatic. But what a luxury to have those guys in those more quiet roles, because they are very deadly as players.
And you know, one man, the one you didn't talk about, the one I think that could really mix things up here on Train, that has to be Skadoodle. The AWPing prowess of this man, his ability to just explode into a game, can single-handedly turn things around almost.
Yeah, he's been good this event, and we've seen him have some of those trademark dominant performances, which you're always gonna need him, especially if they want to win this match. Going head-to-head against Guardian, I still remember, and it's obviously still fun to reference it if you roll back the years to about 2015 when Guardian and Skadoodle were going head-to-head heading into ESL1 Cologne as the two players that you would consider the two best AWPers in the world. That was a very fun duel going on. So we're going to see a little of a flashback towards that time period.
And I mean, then if you look across the pond, you've got FaZe, a team that has been on the rise since they were formed. You know, we just saw Olaf Meister and Guardian be added into this roster, and things have only looked up since then. Saying that, they're coming here for quite a disappointing run at Epicenter. They didn't really live up to the hype there, and I think, you know, that got to be careful because that could easily get in your head.
They mentioned that on the desk as well. That was an event where uncharacteristically you had a couple weaker events individually from two big players in Olaf Meister and Rain, which is incredible because Rain has been one of the most consistent stars we have in all of Counter-Strike. So certainly there's going to be some plays made. Everyone seems to be on form for the FaZe side, so they shouldn't be worrying about that. But the big test is how good is Cloud9's train in reality, because this is one of the most dominant map. This is the most dominant map that they have.
Yeah, the one thing I think though, that at least from what we've seen so far of FaZe at this event, is it still seems like they're having a couple of maps where they're still struggling. Right? I mean, we saw they actually played on Train versus Renegades. If you recall, that was a 13-2 lead for them.
Yeah.
They're able to win it out, but it still ended up being what? I think it was a 16-13 finish. So we almost saw Renegades actually claw that back. And I personally, you know, put Cloud9 as a team that is kind of above Renegades. They're a lot more established in that regard, and I think are better on Train.
Well, certainly at the moment, you would. I'm going to just come out and say it because I know Alex posed the question on the desk: is Cloud9 the best team in North America? And I think they are. I think they've reclaimed that title. I think that small window of Team Liquid being the champs was nice, but it's over. It's back to Cloud9, which has long been the tradition here in North America. So this is a team that you can look at and say it's very possible to see them on the grand final stage tomorrow, even if it is against FaZe Clan.
And should be getting into this any moment now. Of course, this is it, the one that we've all been waiting for, FaZe versus Cloud9. Deciding, of course, who's going to be going through to that grand final spot tomorrow to play versus NIP, the defending champions here at IEM Oakland.
What a phenomenal story that's been for NIP, a great run, but who cares about that right now? Pissed Around is about to go live. We've got FaZe starting on the CT side. Cloud9 will be attacking. Skadoodle with the utility as well. We've got a lot of players going out towards Ivy from both teams. We're gonna get a battle here as the USA chants ring out in the Oracle Arena, and there it is. A trade for Cloud9, and they're not gonna get away.
Yeah, Carrigan now, the only man left, has support coming on in. But Tarek is looking to try and open things up. Guardian gonna do what he can. And actually, in the blink of an eye, it's Skadoodle versus Olaf Meister. Skadoodle has been so good in these pistol rounds for Cloud9 throughout this event.
You can just see how much talent there is on the FaZe side of things. The way that they're trading those kills, pulling themselves. Guardian with a huge double kill to keep him in the round. And Skadoodle has no armor. He's got the Glock, so this is going to be a difficult fight at certain ranges, and Olaf Meister adjusting his position. He might just catch him out, and he is! It's a one-tap, it's anticlimactic. Skadoodle not expecting that whatsoever.
Pest around going to come in straight away for FaZe. Cloud9 early on going to find themselves on the back foot. They will be forcing down what they can. Tarek's got himself a scout. As Deagle's invested as well, and we saw the other day how deadly these Deagles can be. Now would be a great time for Cloud9 to replicate some of the success we've seen them have.
It'd be a brilliant time, really. Carrigan holding Ivy. Gonna delay things with the smoke. There are 3 UMPs. An automatic just spamming. He was deadly with this weapon as well, him personally. Stewie's been brought down trying to make some kind of a play in ladder room. He's going to be made more passive, and at the moment, FaZe is spread out throughout the map, not really grouped up. At the moment, they don't know what's coming, so this is fine. They've got eyes everywhere. Even playing passive at the inner bomb site, feeling no pressure.
Yeah, Cloud9 taking this very, very slowly, and FaZe aren't too keen to give anything up. Nico just going to be waiting. He's taking an aggressive angle over here towards main. Does have some support from Pop Dog. Now, initial peek going to come on in. It's automatic trying to open up with the Deagle.
This is going to be tough, though. There's no real utility on the Cloud9 side. They don't have anything to start this attack off with. They just kind of have to go for it at a certain point. And also, Rain being pushed up in ladder room, he can get information if he hears that. Oh, that's a great boost. There it is. The shot rings true. Rain's going to be forced more passive.
Yeah, that's the signal for Rain to get the hell out of there. Now, Giving up that more offensive position, gonna get caught out. Cloud9. They are finding these frags. Down goes Olaf, and Guardian suddenly left 1 versus 4. He's able to make it a 1v3. Make that 1v2, but Stewie, he's not in the mood to let that comeback happen in that round. Cloud9, they're gonna be straight back in this.
You can get away losing 1 player to a nice deagle shot, but as soon as you lose that second and they start swarming the site, you've got nowhere to go. An immediate response from Cloud9. It didn't look like they had any ability to get into it, but just a nice boost, a timely boost. Late in the round catches Nico off guard. Now you have the AK-47s, the M4 on Rush, the UMP on Tarek. It's all in the favor of the Americans.
And Nico's the only sort of bastion of hope here for FaZe. He has the M4 brought forward. He's going to be playing that down towards Ivy along with Carrigan, Cloud9. This time they're the ones who kind of have that pressure of not falling prey to the pistols early on, so they've slowed right down, disallowing any aggression to come through from FaZe.
Yeah, this is very cautious from C9. They don't want to give anything up early on in these rounds. They know it's going to be investment back into it, so just doing everything clinically, just clearing out these box halls. There's a dangerous fight. Tarek getting back in towards cover as soon as he spots Olaf Meister, now committing. That should force Olaf Meister away, but it actually doesn't. He pushes forward just a little bit more to catch him off. Could be a timing on this peak that Tarek's not expecting. The rest of Cloud9 hasn't made a decision where they want to go. It does look like they're going to group up towards this outer bomb site once again. And there's a spot from Automatic as well.
Yeah, just catches a glimpse of rain. With that though, Cloud9 now starting to double back over here towards the A-bomb site. Tarek fading away from B, and it's Rush. Down here, Ivy that holds this angle, going to be doing the dance with Carrigan. Automatic opens up. Carrigan going to take one back in retort. Olaf gets found though, trying to flank round from behind, and that's given up this man advantage. Nico does pounce into action with the rifle. Trades go left and right, and actually Automatic now going to be the man to fall. As Carrigan's tearing them limb from limb, Guardian does go down, and now it's the 1v1. At this time, it's Carrigan to try and make it a reality. He's found 3 already. Skadoodle is able to get the bomb down. Carrigan repositions, and he's able to find it. Skadoodle does come up short. A 4K from the brains behind FaZe. And it's going to be a rebound straight back.
Yeah, incredible from Carrigan. He gets that 1 kill out towards Ivy. It's the only Cloud9 member there. No one's in position to clean him up to trade that away. That first kill actually turns out to be huge because he's got no pressure from one side. No utility to really block him off. There is, I mean, this is late in the round, this execute from Cloud9. And once you start losing players as you attack the bomb site, it gets so sketchy. It gets so dicey as things go down because any mistake causes huge problems. They're going to be able, with that plant, to buy up back into it. It's pretty solid, all things considered. 2 AKs on Tarek and Rush and 3 Deagles. The best you could hope for. But the tough part is the op is out on Guardian. Yeah, it's out early.
We've seen him decimate entire teams single-handedly with that weapon, so Automatic looking to try and go blow for blow with him with the Deeg and Ivy isn't ideal. He's gonna be afforded a little bit of ground as the smokes rain in. Cloud9 grouped up over here at Pop Dog. Considering to keep them away, they're gonna go down together. And Rain's just faded away, holding this more passively. He is aware of the danger that's lurking in Pop.
I saw a player, you know, squeak down ladder, and he doesn't want to mess that. That boost, I think, is still very difficult for defenders. Here's Olaf Meister. Feels the pressure, spots out some opponents. He's going to call for help. Nico is rotated in. That's a deadly combination to defend this inner bomb site. It looks like it's going to be just a hit towards this site for Cloud9. Smokes are out, utilities out. There's Rush, he peeks out, no one's watching up a ramp. That's what the backup's for. Miscommunication from FaZe, and Cloud9 have found their way in. 2 big entries from Rush, and he continues forward. That's the 3rd. He can't be stopped, and FaZe has to give it up. A 4th round now that is traded back and forth between these 2 teams, neither one ceding control.
That's devastating if you're FaZe. I mean, they were looking great into that setup. It looked like they had everything in place, but Rush tears on through the defenses. Rain does finally deal with the man, gets that revenge. But that is it for FaZe here. He wants to try and do that much more damage if he can.
That's big miscommunication from FaZe, that 2 players inside that bomb site, neither one of them even considering or watching upper. Someone had a miscue. And Rush is able to get 2 for free, and that 3rd comes out as well. Just So tough rotating in when you have that smoke in your way and Rush has already got the angle. That one's essentially as free as he gets as well. And Rain can't even pick up the AK. Stewie stops him.
And if you recall, ESL on New York, we see Cloud9 there. I think the most amount of rounds they got versus FaZe was 4 rounds. Yeah. They've already nearly outdone themselves as they look now. They've got something to prove, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of, I mentioned, this is the test of like, what have they done from New York to now? How much have they actually improved? It's a great barometer, all things considered. Skadoodle's got the op in his hands, misses the initial shot. There's Olaf pushing forward. Tarek wants to take that fight. He knows he's got backup. He knows he's got Stewie with him, and that's easy. 5-on-4 advantage early on here, but Cloud9's gonna slow it down. They don't have map control anywhere else, so this feels like it's just gonna be a walk into the upper bomb site at some point.
Yeah, there's only one man here from FaZe. Rain's actually come rotating in to help out. Nico, you can see. FaZe are reading this well. They're rotating everyone in, and now the push comes through for Cloud9. They mustn't fall prey to this one rifle on Rain, and there it is. It's been dropped. Instead, it's Guardian to open up with 2. And oh, this is going wrong here for Cloud9. It's a 2-on-2. They've got the bomb down. Nico and Carrigan start this retake, pushing on in, and Nico, he's already been able to do damage. It's Rush and Stewie holding close on the site. Carrigan slipped by, they spot him out in the open. Carrigan falls, and now Nico, 1 versus 1 as the D chimes in again. He's gonna hold the angle, does the damage, and Nico's done it.
No kid, I'm not even sure if he has time. He could have done it. That is tough. A great 1D coming out to open up that bomb site. And this is around Cloud9. Should have never, ever lost. That is heartbreaking if you're a Cloud9 player. That is what starts to make you nervous. And somehow Nico pulls out a miracle. Guardian with 2 big kills there. Cloud9 had everything. They had the bomb down, they had the site, they had everyone in great positions, and it's just outclassed there towards the end. So with third for FaZe, still both teams refusing to give up the advantage. It's gonna be Skadoodle with an AWP. He's got no armor, Guardian's got his as well. This would be a huge battle to see. Some spam coming through the wall. Stewie just wants to go for a timing peek, and he's got it. Somehow he finds Nico.
And what a man to take down if you are Cloud9. They've grabbed a man advantage early on. Skadoodle just gonna hold for any aggression down towards Ivy while the rest of the Cloud9 gang explore other avenues across the map. Automatic and Skadoodle start to take position down here towards Ivy, and Carrigan will be lying in wait. We saw a massive round from him in that second round 4 spot. He looks now to replicate that success once again. Over here towards Ivy, peeks into it, spots automatic. That's his cue to start to fade away, play this more passive. But Cloud9, time is running out.
Yeah, 50 seconds left. They're gonna have to make a decision pretty soon here where they want to execute. Waiting for this smoke to disappear. It looks like it'll be outside. Most of this FaZe defense is lined up against this first alley for the trains, which could be dangerous. Stewie might not be able to find anything when he comes out as they're all in cover. So he's gonna find a pathway up to the bomb site. 1 transitions, that's Rain over. He gets caught with the Molotov out. Stewie's got a couple of easy ones. Olaf is up next, he's all alone. That's Skadoodle. He's been dropped. The bomb is far back as well. This can be dangerous, but finally they've got him cornered. Guardian's here with the op in a 1-on-3, but he's gotta fight for it, and he doesn't see it coming from behind.
And Cloud9, nor FaZe, neither team letting up. It's just been a constant back and forth, a battle to win 2 in a row, and so far no one's done it.
No, but this is always going to be favorable to the terrorist side. This is always going to be favorable to Cloud9 in this situation. And you can see finally, I think the money's just going to be gone. They're still investing, they're still buying up into this, doing everything they have, but if they lose this, then it's disaster. Then Cloud9 can slingshot up. This is a good position to be in if you're C9.
Now the question is, what are FaZe going to do to try and change the pace? There it is, Rain. Looks to try and find the entry and does pay for that with his life. Man advantage up for Cloud9. Olaf going to try and retake his fallen comrade's position. Hasn't been detected just yet. Nico's back at it again with the Deeg, looking to try and replicate those antics, but he'll be shut down. Instead, it's Olaf in with 2. Make that 3. Olaf pushes up, gonna go for a 4th, but Skadoodle says no. Only issue is, AWP here is not ideal. Especially not with the man holding the close angle. Carrigan flanking round from behind. Skadoodle's lifetime is limited right now. And Carrigan on the flank, gonna do it for FaZe. They're able to take one back, even though that buy was really not great in comparison to what we've seen from them.
No, it's a combination of things, though. It's the decision by Olofmeister to take up the position that Rain had just died in, to push up along that wall because they're not going to expect it. But also that one dig onto automatic from Nico, that keeps Cloud9 from pushing forward, from making progress. So as soon as Olof gets the one kill, I mean, he knows he's got his opponents really corralled right next to that choke point. And since they haven't moved forward, he doesn't have to worry too much about being flanked out. So again, a 7th now. Here's Nico, he wants to put an end to it. And he's at least done it to Skadoodle and Rush. Rain now coming out of ladder room finds an easy one onto automatic, and it's just down to 2 players. This is gonna be the first time a team gets 2 in a row, and it's gonna go to FaZe.
Yeah, it's only Stewie and Tarek left. They've got the dig and the AK between them, a solitary smoke. Again, a pop, but that smoke rains in, and instantly it's forced their hand elsewhere. You can see Tarek still holding off Pop Dog. Stewie has begun the rotation over here towards B, where Guardian and Olofmeister both lay in wait. Stewie starts to push in, but Olof spots his toes, and now it's Tarek. 1v5 with the dig. Rain's flanking up from behind. Olof as well. Gonna be taking a little bit more aggression up here.
At this point, any damage that Tarek can do is going to be great. 3 to 4, you want to take some of these weapons away, but it's not going to happen. Because the next round just gets easier for FaZe. This time there shouldn't be any armor bought from Cloud9. This time they should be saving up for the future. Just make sure in the next round they can have armor and AK. I don't think Skadoodle will be able to have the AWP either. And this is a tactical timeout coming out of Cloud9. Tarek wants to talk it over with his team. They've got to figure out the plan of action moving forward. They've got 3 rounds on the T side. You want to extend that obviously up a little bit further before the end of the half. And you have to make sure in these rounds that FaZe doesn't build up this massive bank that you can just never overcome.
Yeah, that's the real issue right now for Cloud9. They have next to nothing to put into this round. You can see, I think it was automatic, could have bought a little bit more than the rest of the team. He can invest. It's actually Skadoodle, sorry. But yeah, there's not enough here, and they really need to try and inflict some damage because FaZe, they are going to start to snowball out of control very, very quickly, and that becomes a massive problem if you are Cloud9 over on that T side.
It is insane to think about how many rounds were traded to start this out. 7 back and forth between the 2 teams. That's madness that ensued early. But yes, it's just a deagle on Skadoodle. That's it. That's all they can bring forward. And he's already out. Nico takes that duel heads up. He loves it. Stewie gonna drop down now, and Rain is here with the SMG, with the bonus money that he wants. He's drooling for it.
Yeah, doesn't want to risk pushing on. I'm just gonna hold things passively. Wants to wait and see if Cloud9 try testing the waters over there and Pop Dog once again. There's Rain in with one. That was automatic. Try pushing out through main. Does get caught off guard. So now for Rain, still just gonna hang around, as you say. The tantalizing option to go ahead and make some more money with this MP9 is far too much. He's going to go pushing on in. Tarek, not ready for that. Hits the deck as well. Rush and Stewie left with only Glocks by their side. They're just going to go walking into Olof's iron sights, and there we go. This should be all said and done. A clean round for FaZe, which is bad news for Cloud9.
Yeah, not ideal situation, but this time they're going to be able to buy up into it. This is what you expect that timeout was about. Cloud9 going to try and get back into things. AK-47's being bought up. Carrigan still has the SMG, and Skadoodle does manage to get the op. He can afford it. He's got a smoke as well. There's not a lot of utility on the C9 behind these weapons, though. There's going to have to be some heads-up duels taken. Individual efforts will need to be made. Carrigan with the pop flash, gonna push about halfway up. A bait and switch set up by the defense in Ivy. Cloud9 being patient on this T side.
Yeah, FaZe not making the decision to invest. Upgrade that SMG, they've just kept it on Carrigan. Using him up close over in Ivy and Cloud9. They've taken control over there towards B. Making sure no aggression can come out from Olof. We saw him attempt that in the second round force buy. Smoke rains in along with the Molotov. And it's going to force Carrigan back. So the bait and switch over Ivy doesn't withstand the test of time.
They really haven't gained anything either at the moment, Cloud9. They are starting to clear out box halls right now. They've dealt some damage to Olofmeister. You can see he's passive on the minimap, about halfway back from the inner bomb site. Kerrigan, though, is a question mark. He's pushing to team mid, so he's getting a lot of information. He's seeing absolutely no one. He's hearing nothing as well. So while he doesn't quite know they're rotating over towards B, he knows that his teammates, Guardian and Rain out there, don't have a whole lot of pressure. Rush is going to lurk on this tactic. And actually, as I say that, he finds Guardian pushing up, getting a little too aggressive, and now that's going to force Nico into a rotation. This inner hit just got a little bit easier for Cloud9. Olofmeister, he's the only one they have to clear. They need to hurry up. Rotations are back. And there's Skadoodle with an up kill. And Olofmeister, how's he done that? How's he got a double out of it? And all of a sudden, it's so dire. The bomb is being planted, but Skadoodle's the only one here. He continues his tear. He flicks up. It's a leg shot as well. This is brilliant so far from C9. Flank coming in onto Skadoodle. He's got to push forward and Rush now. He's here. Rain does hear this. And how does FaZe make their move? Rain's going to make the play and he finds it. Skadoodle in a one-on-two. One-on-one it is. With the op overhead of the trains. Skadoodle, he drops down. He's not expecting it. It's all Rain. So many points of danger for FaZe in that round and they handle them all.
Yeah, I mean, a perfect retake there from FaZe. In spite of Rush making it through the backline, it was read very, very well. You saw they flanked onto it, had Rain position to shut him down, and it seemed like Cloud9 were read it like a book there. They get themselves the bomb plant, but that's grim compensation for losing that round.
Everything was going so well until Olofmeister got that double. Out of nothing, it just seemed to appear. That's it. Such an incredible defense. He was out of position, he had half HP, he was falling back, he was just trying to get away, and all of a sudden 2 kills come out. That's why he's known as one of the best players in the world. It shows there. 7-3 for FaZe. They've grabbed firm control of this match. They have a double op set up now at a Guardian and Kerrigan, and it's just pistols once again for Cloud9.
And this time, looks like it's going to be a set piece out towards A. They throw in all the smokes to go on down, and now they're going to look to push him behind it. Stewie's the man on the entry with the D. Nico able to find one through the smoke to kickstart this for FaZe. Rain raining in death down from afar. Kerrigan's not faltering, and this push is being torn limb from limb. Tarek going to do what he can to pull things back. The bomb plant actually goes in as well. But Olofmeister and Guardian are merciless gods. They come in from behind and shut that down. Cloud9, they get away with the bomb plant. They do a little bit of damage, but FaZe ultimately going to be the ones to win that out.
We're getting to that point where the damage just isn't going to matter towards the end of it. They've done a decent job of some of this damage to the economy of FaZe, but you know you have to start at a certain point putting rounds on the board. There's only 4 rounds left in this half, and they need more. Another good chance for him here. 4 AKs, the AWP on Skadoodle. This looks like it might be somewhat more aggressive. Already lining up for some smokes. We'll see what they have in store. Olof is going to push up. This is a great setup from FaZe. We've seen this in the past. Guardian and Olof take the attention, and Nico peeks out. And if they don't feel anything, they do exactly this. They go hunting. They want to find the openings on the FaZe side of things. They do not want to allow Cloud9 space on this map, and they're slowly restricting where Cloud9 can play from.
That boost doesn't net them anything just yet. Olof will be discovered over here, but still has the support from Guardian. They're going to be sent reeling back. Cloud9 with a heavy presence over towards Ivy as well, still maintaining control of the map. Have denied this early aggression from FaZe.
It's done its job though. Look how much time it's eaten off the clock. And now like Rain's in position as well. Even if Cloud9, they don't want to go towards inner because they know Guardian was there. Now they have to go down ladder and they know Rain is here. It's going to be a challenge. It's going to eat up utility. It's going to eat up time. It could even take the lives of some of the players from Cloud9. So they've got a big decision to make and they've got to do it quick. 40 seconds left.
Nico's holding over at Ivy. Does have Rush about to come his way. 35 seconds and still haven't actually pushed into this site. It's going to be down to the wire. This is where a position like Rain could make all the difference. Carrigan's able to open up. The Rain frag does come in. Kerrigan going to fall to automatic, but there's only 20 seconds. They have to pick up the pace here. It's Rush in with the backstab that could make all the difference. But that bomb only just going into the site. Guardian has to buy time here. He's got 10 seconds, and that bomb's going to be dropped down in the open. Guardian will be dealt with by Tarek.
They can't do it. They can't get the plant down. It's going to be another round for FaZe. Crushing. And now you see the impact of all that aggression towards Inner. Even if it nets FaZe no kills, even if they don't gain a whole lot of info out of it, took Cloud9 too long to make a decision on how to adjust. It ate about 30 seconds off the clock. That's brutal, and it worked. Cloud9 had what they wanted, they just didn't have any time to make the plant. That one kill from Guardians, the bomb carrier, and that seals it. 9-3.
That's devastating if you're Cloud9. Now, they are getting desperate. Stewie waits to see if any aggression comes out from Olaf Meister once again over here at B. Not going to be able to find anything. It's Rain. Continuing this aggression over here towards Pop Dog. Cloud9 still taking this very, very slowly. Trying to bait out some of that utility from FaZe, but there's still so much left, and we saw how impactful it was in the previous round along with the aggression.
Cloud9 still playing this slow, which is interesting. Rain right next to it. There's the flash. Now things speed up. They just found the timing. They just wanted to wait for it. Stewie's got the entry. Rush this time. He's going to be part of the attacking force. He's not lurking. One more for Stewie, but Nico's on a tear. He's got 3 before Tarek takes him down. He's in a one-on-one. No idea where his opponent is. And Olaf Meister is going to creep around this train, and the timing, how does it work for Tarek? Is he prepared for it? No. Clinical, surgical from Olaf Meister, and it's a 10th now for FaZe.
And now, I mean, it's starting to become a real issue. That back and forth in the beginning, which initially looked like it was going to bode well for Cloud9, being on the T side, really has come back to punish them.
If you're Cloud9 and you know, if you end up losing this and you look back on it, you're just going to say, if we'd only not lost that pistol when we were trading rounds, that 7th round that was able to come out, that's going to be the backbone, what broke their back early on in this half. Now they're in that cycle where you just have to buy. You need more than 3 rounds going into the second half. So just invest what you can. No more saves. I think Skadoodle might be the only one who sticks on a pistol for this round. The Opera wanting to have one for the last round. And nope, he's going to switch up to an AK-47. So everything bought out for Cloud9 as they just want to claw their way towards 5.
Now's the time to see the return to form from Cloud9. It's going to be 3 players down towards Ivy early on. Carrigan does lie in wait. And he's been such a problem down here towards Ivy. They don't have a flash to deal with him. They're going to try and run boost across. Carrigan just sitting pretty. They do manage to get the man over. Wasn't spotted, so Carrigan's got no idea. The rush actually resides over here on the right-hand side of Ivy.
That Molotov will slow him down, though, and that's a costly Molotov as well for C9 because they only have 1 smoke remaining. There's not a lot of tools for C9 to use to get into the action, especially when you consider the double op setup that's here. Guardian, he's being aggressive. That's a great flick down. Not an easy shot to hit. Feels no more pressure, and look at this crossfire now. Between Rain and Carrigan, this could spell the end. Stewie's gonna have to use this smoke on one side of Ivy. Tarek waiting in the wings, but his position is useless if they don't get a kill. Here they come streaming out. Rain's found one, Guardian with another, and Rain continues his tear. It could just be a clean sweep, and it is. 3 kills for Rain.
I mean, you can just tell FaZe are feeling it right now. Just fantastic individual plays coming in across the board.
I mean, yes, the individual levels is at a high right now for FaZe. Everyone is playing phenomenally, but they're doing it. They have crossfire set up. They have their rotations in. So you add all of that into, you factor all of that into this defense, and Cloud9 has no clue where to go from here. It's not an easy thing, especially when you start being diminished in the tools you can use. Scout on Skadoodle. Rush is now down. There's some utility lost on his body as well. So nightmare scenario for Cloud9.
Yeah, Cloud9 looking very disorientated here heading into the last round of the half. Already, the man advantage has been gained by FaZe. Carrigan continues this aggression into Ivy, gets all this information for free. Cloud9 once again at the full mercy of this clock as it starts to tick down low. Rain's taking some aggression and automatic. Isn't a spot to shut this down. Not sure that they know that this man is here, the one that has been able to slip on by. That's automatic holding it close. Gonna be fully flashed. Automatic chases down the kill, able to open things up from here. Wants to try and propel the rest of his team into the site now. Perfect flash to force Carrigan away. But the rotations are already coming in thick and fast for FaZe. Stewie in with the first. The smokes isolate the players in connector. Carrigan's going to do what he can to pull things back, and ultimately it's a lot. 3 frags for him. Bomb's been picked up. Oh, boosted over. Going to go down to Stewie. He's able to protect Skadoodle. Now just Carrigan and Guardian left, make it Guardian 3 HP, 1 versus 2, peeks into it, and Stewie, he's gonna get a 4th round for Cloud9.
It's been 9 rounds since Cloud9 won once they put it on the board. That is a heartbreaking run for FaZe. What a huge defensive half. The double op setup was so brutal, Cloud9 could never get track of it. They'll have to see if they can come back. It's a big comeback they'll need in the second half. Well, the Oracle Arena got awfully quiet. FaZe shut everyone up. This has been a dominant start for them. It's looking like it could be a repeat of New York. 11-4 from the CT side, and Cloud9, they're desperate for anything to make this comeback happen.
Yeah, the pressure's on for Cloud9 now. Now's the time they need their fans behind them the most, I guess you could say. As for Cloud9, it all falls onto this pistol if they want to start to make their way back into this. That is the driving factor that they need. And, well, we already saw how the back and forth panned out last time. They do not want a repeat of that now on the CT side.
No, they're going to need some individual performances to get them back into this, even on just a mental level. There's not a whole lot you can say during that break. You give the stereotypical ones, like, we know we can do this 1 round at a time, but at the end of the day, you need someone who's going to fire your team up with a big clutch, a big round, 4 kills, spray down, something like that. That's the only thing that can get Cloud9 back in and focused on this match. Small technical issue on the FaZe side of things that we're going to get figured out very, very shortly and be right back into the game. All the players waiting anxiously.
I think that the worst sentiment here for Cloud9 is that this is a map that we've seen them look fantastic on.
Yeah.
And FaZe, showing complete and utter disregard for that fact, have just steamrolled them in the rifle rounds.
Oh yeah, I mean, that trade back and forth to start the half, it's supposed to be better for the terrorist side of the team, right? It's supposed to be better for Cloud9 in that scenario. They just couldn't win, they just couldn't string the two together, even against just pistols, which is heartbreaking. And then they never had anything alleviate them. That was the big story that first half, was as soon as they lose that second round in a row, it's just limit the amount of money that FaZe can have to build up. Even eventually when you win a round, you get to reset them, and Cloud9 didn't do that, and they were never even able to win one until the very end of the half. So dominant stuff from FaZe. All the issues are fixed. We're getting back into it. Freeze time is dwindling down to 0. Cloud9 on the CT side now on this defense. And it's going to have to be such a strong defense of that to come back.
Skadoodle's going to be the man with the kit for Cloud9. And this is a round that Cloud9 almost depend on. It's a lifeline for them to start to make a way back into this first map. Oh, I think there was an issue there with Olaf and his armor. Wondered why he didn't have any, so just going to quickly look to remedy that, and then we will be back into this. That was just a teaser of what the pistol round might look like.
Yeah, we're just messing with everyone. We'll get right back into it. Regardless, this is now, I mean, Cloud9's gonna, you know, when you come out of that half, if you're an in-game leader, and this is where kind of some of the struggles that Tarek is gonna have as an in-game leader is bouncing back from that kind of a half. Because here's the thing that doesn't often get talked about is when your team is winning and as an in-game leader, it's so easy because everyone's happy, everyone's communicating. When this kind of a performance happens, when you get stomped the way that they did in the first half, this is where people kind of shut down. People, you know, players will just, you know, lose a little bit of focus, so you're not getting all the same calls that you get. And that's what can be very, very worrisome. And that's where you could struggle as an in-game leader. Now, Tarek, we've seen him rise to the occasion plenty, and probably surprisingly, but it's always a series of challenges as a new in-game leader.
Well, now heading into this pistol round for real in the second half, Cloud9, as we were saying, they are desperate to pick this one up, and already attention out towards A. Cloud9, they've started to group players up here, but Carrigan slaughters them in the back line. Olaf in with one, and now it is just Tarek and Skadoodle left.
That was so fast-paced, so aggressive. Cloud9 had no chance of even recovering. Tarek missing a couple shots, and that's going to seal his fate. And there goes Skadoodle. FaZe just running all over Cloud9.
And I mean, you can see it when it happens. FaZe kind of get into this mode where they start to look like that team that everyone fears, right? And that's very much what we're seeing now. Perfect pistol around there from them. And Cloud9 in with the force. They are now hoping that they can pull a FaZe here and actually win it back.
They'd absolutely love that, wouldn't they? Scouts on Skadoodle. Kerrigan's going to lead his way towards team mid, just waiting for someone to walk into his crosshair. It's Tarek who's closest up. He's got to be cautious. Ooh, and the timing on that is unfortunate for Kerrigan, but Tarek's going to be pleased about it. Even makes the gauntlet back. Olaf's got him pinned in on the other side, trying to find anything he can. Molotov out is going to force Tarek away. That's a good kill from Olaf. Doesn't take any damage in the exchange. And that's going to speed things up now for the FaZe team as Nico just slides his way out. Rush is going to find one kill. He's reloading. Nico's going to be able to finish him off. Skadoodle with a scout kill, but Nico is the one winning everything for FaZe. He's made progress all the way up, and he continues forward before being taken down.
Now it's a 2-on-2. That's just been pulled back for Cloud9. Skadoodle falls as he takes a quick trip down from the heavens. Automatic left 1 versus 2. Sneaks up through connector with the Deeg. Pressure's on. He's been spotted by Guardian. They're going to go back and pick up the bomb. Have plenty of time to play with here. Smoke off connector means that bomb plant can come in and automatic.
There's nothing you can really do there when that smoke goes down. It's got to be such a crushing feeling. You're trying to find some crack in it, but there's nothing. So he's just going to have to wait it out for just a little bit. But at the end of the day, not likely he wins this. It would be a miracle if he does. Here he comes, turning the corner. It's a missed shot on Guardian. Olaf patiently waiting for this, trying to get a little bit of damage, seeing if maybe there's a miracle that he's low. Tags him in the foot and gets that kill, but Automatic's going to sit this out. Bring the Deagle into the next round, see if it can do any damage.
Yeah, Cloud9, they did inflict heavy damage there onto FaZe. I'm going to force 3 rebuys up into this round. But there comes a point where any damage to the economy is pretty worthless. FaZe going to be up 13-4 right now, 9 rounds ahead of Cloud9. Cloud9 just having to grit their teeth into this round and can't invest anything. It's going to be 2 Zeus's brought up.
Why not? Well, we know Tarek loves him. We know Tarek's had a couple of rounds where he just goes for the Zeus kill. So at the end of the day, going for some style points here as this first map is starting to come to a close. They'll have basically one more chance, that next round that they can get the rifles to get back on board, to see if they can pull any momentum into this. One of those Zeuses is on the first train. That's Tarek, since Stewie is pushing in her right now. Medic does find Kerrigan. Stewie can get nothing, and that's an avenue into the inner bomb, so they waste no time. Olaf just going to push up. Molotov into the choke point. That's going to block off all the rotation, so plenty of time to get the bomb plant, plenty of safety for it, and meanwhile, Nico's killing everything outside.
Yeah, he's just padding these stats that much more as he waits over in main. Skadoodle in with the dig. Okay, he's able to get Nico, but that's the end to his tricks as Guardian does come in through the back, and now it's Rush left 1 versus 3, waiting over here in Pop. There is an AK for him over at main. Should imagine that's what the end goal is here. Gonna go peeking on out, but those missed shots to Guardian, those are the kind you can't afford to miss. FaZe.
It's like he's tapping him on the shoulder and saying, turn around and fight me. He didn't want that at the end of the day. So 14-4, here's the buy. Skadoodle, he has a decision. Does he want to go for the M4 armor and utility, or does he get the AWP out? And at this point, I think you need a miracle. I think you take the AWP. You just say, that's one of the power pieces, that's one of the strengths of our lineup is Skadoodle with the AWP. Get it in his hands, see if anything can come from it. They need it right now. It needs to come out in this round.
And that's a lot of pressure to put on one man. Cloud9 trailing behind here on their map pick. FaZe already sending players over towards B, gonna keep the pressure on. That's forced the rotation in from Tarek. And now the real plot behind these dastardly deeds looks to be to make some noise out towards that A bomb site. They go ahead and send a man into Pop Dog. Still have players waiting to see if any aggression comes out as well over here at main. Keeping these options open. And now in comes the utility from Nico and Guardian. Kerrigan, the first man on the scene, able to open up. Skadoodle gets nothing done with the AWP. Automatic does what he can in return, but now it all falls to Rush. And they're going to push into him. Rush takes 2. Nico and Guardian left, and Nico wants the head of Stewie inside the site, but it all falls to Guardian. 1 versus Tarek. Bomb on his back. And Tarek just ducking away. Guardian peeks into this from afar, gets the timing wrong, and Tarek's going to win it out. A 5th round for Cloud9. And a lifeline to try and make their way back into this.
It's not much of one. It's the minimal amount. They lose 4 players, so Tarek's going to have to drop something over, and he's going to buy one up himself, or they're going to have a weapon that's a little bit weaker. Stewie's going to be on the shotgun. They're going down to FAMAS just so they can have the extra utility, the extra nades, the extra kit here and there. But in a very big danger of being reset right after their first victory in this half. Rush is going to push up. Stewie's close to the shotgun, misses that. They're going to try and chase him down, and they're doing it. There's a kill. Now he's pushing up, not able to get the second. So close, but Kerrigan finds him. Rush is at about half HP as well, right underneath the ladder, waiting for the rotate back.
Yeah, and he's ultimately going to get nothing done. Does smoke it off, keeps the aggression there. Disallows the play in through Pop. Nico's not really a duel he wants to be taking, but Rush will go ahead and give up the position now as he starts to take one a little bit more passive inside of the A-bomb site. There's still 1 minute and 5 seconds left for FaZe to play with. Olaf slowly but surely progressing down towards Ivy. There is this crossfire though set up between Rush and Automatic to try and shut this down.
The big question is, Guardian with this AWP, he's just kind of toying around in this mid-choke point. He's got plenty of time to find a pick. If anyone from Cloud9 strays a little bit too far into the open, he can punish them. It's a risky setup for Cloud9 as well because there's 2 players defending that inner bomb site. They even started to rotate a 3rd. So there's a lot of space for FaZe to work with that's out of sight. A lot of space for Guardian to get in good position. Nice kill from Automatic. FaZe gonna start pushing up now, but they've been dwindled. Rush gets 1 more, there goes Nico.
That's the bomb dropped as well with only 13 seconds left this round. Might elude FaZe here. Got to the point now where they have to try and find the frags, and ultimately that's not going to happen. Guardian will just fade away and opt to hold on to the AWP, as time gets the better of FaZe there.
Yeah, they had a lot of time, obviously, and they had a lot of space to work with. It was the nades they were missing to be able to block things off. If they'd had some smokes, they could just put them up and get that bomb down, but no flashbangs to help clear anything, and they just get systematically dropped one by one. So a 6th for Cloud9, and that time surviving with a few players. They're going to be able to have a stronger buy into this one. Still no AWP on Skadoodle, but at the moment they'll live with that, and they perhaps have a chance to close this up even more. Just pistols for FaZe outside of Guardian's op. It's going to be all on him. FaZe basically takes the leash off and gives him free reign to find whatever fight he wants.
Right now, it looks like that fight is going to be over here towards B. The rest of the team are in tow. Stewie and Skadoodle, they're the two men tasked with trying to lock down this B bomb site. That smoke going to come in all too late as they've pushed right by it. Olaf opens up with Skadoodle, and now Stewie, he's going to fall short.
Not like this. Guardian is primed up to watch for the rotations through connector. He's just waiting, no smoke needed there. Cloud9, this would be another crippling pistol round win for FaZe. There's the aggression from Kerrigan. He finds a kill. Cloud9 just can't get into it, and it's all over. Nico takes the headshot onto Tarek, and it's just automatic. There's no chance of him even getting to the bomb in time, so he's got to fight to survive, and it's not going to happen. 15th for FaZe. There's some money in the coffers for Cloud9, but it's not much. This is going to be a sparse buy, and FaZe on the verge of taking map 1.
And I mean, what an awful way for that to fall apart for Cloud9. FaZe, the AWP ultimately doesn't even play into it. It's the pistols that do all the damage.
Yeah, and if you go back, that winning a round like that from FaZe is what kicked off their dominant run in the first half. I mean, Cloud9, there's been a couple crippling buys, losses to these pistols that you can't take, especially against a team like FaZe that they're going to build so much on momentum and on any success. There's automatic. He managed that well. Kerrigan, a little bit bold, tries to sneak through the smoke. Maybe thinking because of the lead that Cloud9 is going to lose some focus, but at least not there.
Now they've got Olaf still waiting here. Automatic going to take some aggression. Also takes the frag. Nico and Rain. Elbow tag low. These scouts are doing damage right now for Cloud9 as everyone within FaZe is within inches of death. They're going to start to peel away from A. See what this B-bomb site has in store. The one issue for them is going to be that Stewie, with his trusty Mag 7, has taken a more forward position over here towards B.
Should be able to get some kills with this here, as we've seen FaZe just kind of walk into the crosshair. Rain coming down the stairs. Stewie's just waiting, and it's going to be an easy one. There's the first, there's the second. Something to cheer for, and a third. Triple kill with the Mag 7. Some life in Cloud9 yet. That's going to help a lot with the money, but they've got to rattle off 8 straight if they want to force overtime.
I think the scariest thing here is when you look at Cloud9, even in these rounds where it seems like FaZe have nothing, you still can't say for sure that Cloud9 are going to be able to close it out. But the 3K from Stewie going to be great for the bank accounts and for the morale here of Cloud9. 4 players now lying wait over here towards A with a solo anchor left over at B. That's going to be Stewie. Did a fantastic job in the previous round.
He's got money for days now, doesn't he? Rain's got the only deagle. He'll take that peek. He spots out automatic at the corner. This is a double up setup from the CT side. Should be able to manage it quite nicely, though, as FaZe have absolutely nothing outside of that deagle. There's no utility. It's all Glocks outside of it, so surely not this round. Rain looking for a peek, and that's a perfectly timed pop flash from Cloud9. Unlucky for Rain, and no one else from FaZe wants to even test this. They don't even want to move in, so Tarek's going to be able to get away quite nice.
Yeah, that Molotov just secures his retreat now, holding it from afar. Spots the 4 players coming his way. Just going to try and pad stats. Does take 3. Glock's able to do some damage at least. And automatic and Russia there to get the situation back under control. Cloud9 now with 8 rounds. Let's not forget, we did see FaZe throw away a massive lead on this map versus Renegades. It was at 13-2 to their advantage. Ended up getting right down to the wire there, so there's no reason why we can't see a similar path card by Cloud9, albeit not looking incredibly likely.
Yes, I mean, this is a different FaZe than what we saw on that day of those matches. I think that was day one. So they've looked phenomenal ever since that kind of a performance. Certainly a huge lead here. Still plenty of rounds to go before we talk about that comeback for Cloud9. 15-8, double up setup on the CT side still. It's on Skadoodle and Automatic. And there's the stack working out perfectly. Tarek walks right into it. Rain and Nico, not even blind, no flashbang thrown in. It's an easy kill for them.
Yeah, and this early man advantage has put FaZe firmly in the driving seat. Now the wall of smokes rains in out towards A. Rush going to try and take aggression. Is able to get one straight back and tries to secure a foothold up in Pop, but it doesn't go his way. Stewie's going to fall shortly after the double orbs. That's all that remains, and they're going to start to get shut down one by one. Skadoodle has dropped the bomb, and now he's going to try and make the second, but Carrigan shuts him down. That's enough for FaZe to win out map number one. The map pick at Cloud9. They secure it 16-8.
Yeah, you thought Skadoodle might have had it, but that first half was too much from FaZe. They came alive in a big way. Started out with a huge lead. The frightening thing is that looked like it might have been one of the best chances for Cloud9 to take a map, so it gets even more difficult. They're going to have to shake it off, figure things out for map 2. They need something to spark them back up because this FaZe team looks on point with teamwork, with strategy, with the skill. It's all there for FaZe so far here at IEM Oakland. We're going to hear from the analysts when we return from the break.